Good morning, Year 10. This is Mrs. Puri. Today's assembly is about climate change. In today's assembly, we will look at what can be done to tackle the climate change. As you are aware, we have got the world leaders in Glasgow discussing in COP26 how to tackle with this problem. So, what we'd like you to do is look at this picture as a tutor group and have a discussion of what is the message behind it. Get your tutors to pause the picture, and once you discuss, and find out what the message is. This picture is representing Paris Agreement. Paris Agreement was where 200 countries on the 12th of December 2015 were united for the first time as world nations agreed on cutting greenhouse gases which cause global warming. It was also agreed that the climate change, i.e. the temperature increase, will be limited to 1.5 degrees rather than 2 degrees, which were pre-industrial levels. Hi, so what I'd like you to do now is to have a quick discussion on what is the future for the Earth. Can scientists reduce carbon emissions? Once you're ready, carry on, find out what we can do as scientists in the near future. As the politicians around the world are tackling and discussing what can be done to save the planet, at the same time the scientists at Cambridge University and other universities around the world are looking into the plans and techniques to save the planet. So at Cambridge University, they have now set up a research centre which will develop new ways to repair the Earth's climate. They have suggested the following techniques which they are working on at present. Refreezing the Earth's core, which is called ocean spraying. Carbon capture and storage, which is also known as CCS, and also ocean greening. So what does ocean spraying mean to you? What they're planning to do is refreeze the poles, which is basically brightening the clouds above us. The idea is to pump seawater up tall mass on unscrew ships through the very fine nozzles. These will produce tiny droplets of salt, which will inject into the clouds and make them more wider and reflective, so it cools the area below them. The second idea is called CCS, capture carbon and store. This idea involves capturing the carbon dioxide emissions and then changing them into synthetic man-made fuels. So what they're trying to do is to get as much carbon dioxide, they're going to try to suck it out of the atmosphere, capture it, and then synthesize into man-made fuel, which then can be used to fuel transportation or other means of transport. So the scheme involves having a plant. Plant means a building on site that will convert the carbon emissions that will be produced by that company. And what they will do will use sources of hydrogen, the source of carbon dioxide, mix it with heat and renewable electricity, and they will use all of these to then change them into man-made synthetic fuel. The final idea the scientists are working on is called ocean greening. Ocean greening is where iron particles are dropped into the sea by the ship. Iron stimulates the growth of algae and plankton. The algae will absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere by photosynthesis. So with this idea, we are looking to promote lots of layers of algae to grow on the top of the sea. Now, as a scientist, if these ideas do not work, what will the future be for the Earth? Thank you for listening.